Hello, everybody. Welcome to Casual Shenanigans Gaming, a podcast all about Battlefield, DayZ, Arma, and all things PC gaming related. I'm one of your hosts, JERMgaming, and I'm joined this evening by Joel.
Hey, guys.
And so far, it looks like it's just the two of us. Someone else may be joining us later, but so I say, let's put the news on hold and let's talk about Grand Theft Auto 5, since it's just the two of us and we both.
And Dave doesn't have it, so
before all the other PC only people get back. So how far into the game are you?
I think I'm like 6 hours in. I just finally got to Trevor, so just got to his segment. So yeah.
So you've done the first heist.
Spoilers.
Yeah, okay, wait. Yeah. Spoilers. If you haven't played Grand Theft Auto 5 and you're going to, we will probably say things that are kind of spoilery, so don't keep listening. So
just skip like 5 minutes.
Have you done anything with all your money yet? Or actually, you can't switch back to the other characters yet, can you?
No, I mean I can switch back between Michael and gosh, what is the other guy's name? Franklin. I can switch back between them, but now it switched over to Trevor, so I won't be able to switch back to the other guys for a while. I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like an hour or so before you can switch back.
Yeah, because I got quite far, and then I restarted the save file just because I wanted to make sure I missed a few of the missions.
Now we we kind of did our first impressions video, but since that, like, what are your impressions of the game? How have they changed?
Not much. It's awesome. It's just a lot of fun. It's a blast.
It's really. I was just thinking about it. Like, I mean, I've loved pretty much every Grand Theft Auto game, and this is by far the best. Like,
yeah,
even
doing the three characters, I think is magic for the game.
It's not just three characters. They've tried to make the missions more interesting. Like Grand Theft Auto is always drive here, kill them, leave. Yeah, and they've actually. I mean, I didn't really care for the yoga mission. I don't know if you've done that yet.
No, I heard there was one. No, you're not spoiling anything.
It's yoga.
Yeah,
but I didn't really care for that one. But for most part, the missions, I mean, they've been really fun. I mean, they've been varied. The only complaint I have so far is they haven't really taken you all over the map. Like, it's a really big map, but much of the game really takes place in Los Santos.
Huh.
But, I mean, Los Santos is a cool city. I mean, and I'm only like a third of the way through the game, so maybe that'll change. But
I bet probably because of that. I mean, like, have you noticed this? There's an extra slot for another character, though. I have noticed that. I saw that. I was like, I bet that's going to be a DLC character.
For switching to Chop.
Yeah. I was talking to Dave thinking, I wonder if they're going to do like, that'd be awesome if they did a cop one where actually you play a good guy. That would actually be kind of awesome.
In a Grand Theft Auto game?
Yeah, I know. It'd be so weird and different, but it would be awesome because it would allow for all sorts of like, shenanigans, catching bad guys. And
it could be cool. I mean, what'd you think about the first heist? I thought it was awesome.
Oh, it was a blast. It was a lot of fun.
How'd you do it?
I did the sneaky method, but we played it first, and I bought a really high level hacker. But this time, I just finished it before I came up here. I purchased the crappy hacker, the guy I met at the little like developer store or the place for I think Living Social or whatever that thing was.
Right.
The fake Facebook app.
Yeah.
And
Life Invader.
He only gave me 30 seconds to steal all the jewels, but I still got them all. So.
Oh, 30 seconds! Holy crap!
Yeah, but I still got them all. So
really?
It was funny.
Like 2 minutes.
He's like, and 5, 4, 3, 2. I mean 5. Wait, oh, you have more time. He kept on screwing around and messing up with it, but it was good. And all 3 motorcycle people survived. So
that's also good. I think one of my motorcycle people he crashed, but I don't think he's dead.
Yeah, but they took more of the cut, but it was still cool.
Yeah, actually, I've got more to talk about with Grand Theft Auto 5 it'll go into the topic of tonight's podcast, assuming Dave joins us. Otherwise, you and I will just talk about it. But yeah, and also they've made the animation a lot better on the characters. Which I thought was really impressive. I mean, they're still not like anywhere close to The Last of Us or anything, but I mean, they're pretty good. Like I guess I should probably say complaints. My only complaint with the game right now is the graphics.
Yeah.
The lighting is really good. The shader models and everything are really good, but the models are really bad.
Yeah.
They're really low poly.
I keep on hearing that the patch is going to come out and actually help stream a lot of the textures back in, so it's going to be a little bit better. I think maybe like 10% better. So
I don't really have a problem with the textures. when you get out
It's
in the
more like the
wilderness,
distance.
textures are kind
That's
of
the only part. Like when you look really far,
distance.
when you're driving
Okay.
down a far road, like that,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
obviously can tell. I'd like to just see if the textures kind of faded a little bit farther.
My complaint was more with just the poly counts on the models. They really need anti-aliasing, and a lot of the stuff, like the characters are pretty good, but all the background stuff is really, really low poly. I mean, and again, they're pushing the system really hard. Like, it's understandable, but that is a little bit distracting at times. Not to pull the whole, I can't wait till it comes out on the PC, but I really am excited for that because, you know, I'm sure that the game like looks. I mean, all the preview footage and stuff you saw was breathtaking.
Yeah.
I mean, and that was running on a PC, obviously, because it was development. So I do look forward to. You know, when they do release it on the PC, I imagine it is going to look quite a bit better. But that, I mean, honestly, when I'm playing it, it doesn't really bother me that much. It only bothers me if I'm just like running around looking at stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Also, it's like even watching some of the gameplay footage on YouTube, it looks better than sometimes when it's on your TV because your TV is like massive or computer screen is smaller and you're.
Mine's not.
You're why?
Well, my TV is a 27-inch computer monitor.
Oh, okay.
I used to have a 50-inch TV, but that wasn't really going to fit in.
I think
here.
I've got a 50-inch TV actually. I just got one not too long ago because the other one had this crazy line down the middle.
All that commercial money.
I know, all that money. Make it rain. And I mean, it looks good. It's like 720p is a fine resolution. I don't think it's bad resolution at all.
Is it all the way up to 720?
Yeah, it's 720p. Yeah.
Okay, it's not like I mean, I know Call of Duty like they run it lower than that and upscale it.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not. Yeah,
let me look it up.
I like to go to this site called JERMgaming. Have you been there?
Yeah.
I love reading their stuff. Yeah, JERMgaming, Digital Foundry, when they go through games and talk about textures and various stuff. It's really interesting. But they said that it's running at 720p. So.
Yeah. Yep. 720p.
I'm amazed that they have
and
VSync on completely. That's pretty awesome. That's running on this game. That the game is VSynced. Like, I don't ever see tearing. I
don't see any tearing. No, I do see slowdown on a pretty regular basis.
It does get slow, but it never tears, which is nice.
Yeah, that's true. That is pretty good. I would say, like, and for the Xbox One and the PS4, if all they did was up it to 1080p and then add anti-aliasing and turn some of the like textures and stuff back up, I mean, I think they're good to go. Like, that's an easy port right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what DLC they have planned. I know they've said they don't want to do more DLC like the Ballad of Gay Tony or The Lost and the Damned. They don't want to do like separate character ones. They want to, they want to stick to the main ones, which I'm fine with. But I hope they do like if they came out with like a heist pack.
That would be awesome, dude. Did you read the more information about online?
I'm not sure what new information.
I think it came out today or yesterday. There was more information about GTA Online saying that you can like I forget how many heists you can have, but it just sounds ridiculous. It's just going to be amazing.
Yeah, I remember there were a lot of those. And that comes out like next week, doesn't it?
Yeah, it comes out the 1st, so that should be. What day is that?
That's like early next week.
That's Tuesday.
That's Tuesday. Yeah.
Dang. And apparently, Battlefield 4 comes out Tuesday.
Oh, the beta. Beta. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're gonna be playing a lot of that. You know, I'm gonna play some Grand Theft Auto Online, get a feel for it. I'm probably not really gonna dive into it until it comes to the PC, just because I don't know anyone else who has the game on PS3, so I don't have anyone else to really.
That's true, and I have it on Xbox too.
You talk about like, hey, we're gonna play together, and I was like, okay, I'll get on the console. And you're like, oh, sorry, bro, just brought my Xbox with me.
Okay, I was gonna get it on PS3 if James got it, so then I'd have 3 people to play it with. But I was like, if you just got it, I was like, because I like the Xbox controller a lot better than the PS3 one. It's better. That actually was a big deal for me. But I was like,
it is a big deal.
But then I knew you were gonna get it. We'll get it on PC sometime whenever it comes down. That's where I'll probably play it online mostly because it'll be fun to play with Dave, and we'll make a crew and we'll rob people.
Do heists. I'm looking forward to doing heists. Like I'm not even gonna buy Payday anymore. Like,
I know. It sucks. I was like, dude. I told Dave, I bet they probably rushed that game out so fast.
They're like, please, people want heists.
Holy crap! Like I bet when they heard GTA 5 was like delayed, they're like, oh, thank you, good. Oh my goodness.
So I wonder is the heist genre going to become a thing now? Like I'd be okay with that.
I know.
Heists are really fun.
I just want to have Ocean's 11 music going on when I'm stealing stuff.
I bet someone's going to make an Ocean's 11 mod for GTA 5.
I'm sure they will. Have you done the one? There's one side mission. I guess it's a spoiler alert. If maybe it's a spoiler, I don't know. But it's hilarious. But you go up to this guy who's like selling weed. Have you been to that guy yet?
I'm not sure. I've done most of the. It's one of the strangers and freaks missions.
Yeah, it's like the freak mission. I don't even think it actually is a freak mission. It's just a random person.
Which character?
Yeah.
The guy selling weed and all the aliens.
Yeah, you like are tripping out and you start seeing aliens and they have a Gatling gun and you're just shooting all these aliens. But then have you seen online how there's apparently a big old like conspiracy around GTA 5 saying there's aliens and spaceship
There's like an ARG
in the game. So I wonder if there's going to be like Red Dead Redemption had a whole zombie thing.
Or like maybe an alien invasion. An Independence Day DLC.
Dude, that would be amazing. And online playing it, like just aliens invading.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
In the comments, Huzzah has asked, what do you guys think of the cars in GTA? What do you think of the cars?
I like it. I like it a lot.
The handling isn't nearly as like floaty as it was in GTA 4. GTA 4, it got really annoying to drive.
For me, I love GTA 4's driving. I love the slippy.
You didn't feel like the cars were too floaty, though?
No, they were. They were ridiculously floaty. But for me, it was like a fun challenge, and it was just like you could peel out and just slide your tail around. I love that, and I guess it was really fun because you'd hit something just like woo. And I liked how easily you would actually fall out of a car. I like that.
Yeah, you don't fall out quite as easily now.
Yeah, I just love it because it was like.
The thing that's really easy now, they've replaced flying out of your car with your car's wheels getting bent up. Oh my gosh, yeah. I destroy the wheels on so many cars. That's why I'll get to this more when we talk about our topic for the evening. But that's all my characters are broke. They all got hundreds of thousands of dollars after the first heist, and they are all broke again. Because like if I'm going to go somewhere, I grab a car, drive it to the nearest Pay and Spray or Los Santos Customs, soup it up, and then I'll just drive it across the map, destroy it, and go get something else. I've destroyed so many cars now because the garages, they're kind of glitched right now. Like they're not saving everything correctly.
Oh, are they? Huh.
So I've got a very nice collection of cars in my garages, but I'm not taking them out a lot of the time.
You know what I was actually really surprised in the game is there is no patch yet. And I think that's a good.
It runs pretty well. I think that's actually a good thing.
Yeah. Like I'm amazed. Like I'm trying to think of the last game I played where
they delayed
day one there wasn't like a quick patch.
They delayed it for a couple months. So I mean,
what do you mean?
GTA.
Right.
It was supposed to come out in what, March?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, so I would expect them to not have any bugs. They said that was just to polish the game. So who knows? Maybe the March version of the game would have sucked. I mean, I wouldn't. The game doesn't run super well now, but it's stable. It hasn't crashed or anything.
I saw there was I don't know how to do it, but there's a cheat for like no gravity or very low gravity.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait to try the cheats, but I don't want to do them yet because I'm just gonna I'll stick with the cheats the whole game now.
Yeah. You don't want to teach yourself the cheats. Like it's in San Andreas, as soon as I learned the fill up your health and give you armor and $250,000 at the same time cheat, I just spammed it in everything.
I hate cheats in games sometimes, like especially when you find them out early because you're like, dang it, the whole game's ruined now.
Yeah, exactly. If you learn to cheat, then anytime you get in a tough spot, you'll want to use it. But games don't really have cheats as much as they used to, I don't think. I think Grand Theft Auto's kept them for nostalgia, but I don't think...
Cheats now are mods.
Yeah, basically. That's true. Yeah, like in Just Cause, you get the tether that never breaks.
Dave, with his loot, he put in Skyrim to be able to loot 1,500 items, or I forget how many items it was. Or
he just knocked his stats up.
Yeah. For me, I can't do that because it's it ruins the game for me because once I have so much, then I just want more and more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think Chris the one thing. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Fine. Chris and I played Oblivion on the PS3. But we got it years later for the PC. Like I bought a pile of games off eBay, and Oblivion was one of them. So we went ahead and installed it, and we got the console commands, and you can basically use a trainer on your character. So we had a really short elf who could jump all the way over buildings and run 50 miles an hour. It was unlimited. You could do whatever you wanted. You could adjust the stats to anything. So we had a lot of fun with that. I think stuff like that's cool, but yeah, it does ruin the game if you haven't already played it pretty much all the way through. If I'm going to beat Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PS3 and then just sell it. I'm going to sell it while it's still worth a good bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I'll just buy it as soon as it comes out on the PC. But when I play through it again, I'm going to play through the campaign again on the PC or the story, and I will definitely use mods, cheats, whatever, just to have fun,
Yeah,
At that point,
exactly.
I'm not going to be concerned with
That's
realism.
one thing It'd be awesome if you could upload your save files to like the social club thing or whatever the network is for GTA, so that you wouldn't have to replay the game.
Well, they could probably do that. Who knows? They might, but I don't mind playing through it again. Like, it's fun.
I guess what we could do is we just find a save file someone else has, maybe.
Supposedly, it's the longest GTA game.
That's cool.
I know GTA 4 was shorter than San Andreas, but
GTA 4 has to be shorter.
San Andreas was so long. I don't even remember how long it was, but I played it for just months. Granted, a lot of that wasn't spent doing the story missions. It was just screwing around. But yeah.
Yeah, but I'm really enjoying it. I can't wait for online.
Yeah, I mean, I will definitely hop in and try it out for the first day or so, and then, you know, probably. Well, actually, I probably won't have beaten the game by then. So I'll play it the entire time I have the game. I bet I'll be playing for a couple more weeks at least. But
Dave said he never got the invite.
He never got the invite.
He never got the invite.
I sent 2 invites. Oh, he's joining now. Hey!
Oh. You said you never got the invite.
I did invite you. I sent you invites on both accounts, and I Skyped you.
I Steamed you. I'm so alone.
Steamed me?
That sounds really weird. I Steamed you.
Oh. Okay, I have a Steam chat window. It never pinged or lit up. I just opened up Steam, and there's a chat window sitting there like, hi, this isn't important.
It's because he has you blocked.
I've had Skype open, too. I have no messages from Skype, either.
Really?
Yep, nothing at all in the history.
Well, you have 2 Skype accounts. I might have Skyped the wrong one. They have like the same name on them. Are you rolling?
I am.
Okay, I'll just make a note. Do you want me to cut any of this out, or just go as is?
Probably cut it out. Are we live?
Oh yeah, we're live. But I mean, for the recording.
Yeah, we didn't wait for you, fool.
I cut it out. I was like, man, where are you guys? I wolfed down my tacos to be on time.
Dude, if you've been sitting here for 30 minutes,
my tacos.
I have a phone. You have my number.
I figured Dave was going to text me. I just figured you fell asleep because that's happened before.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been late from falling asleep, though. I've been close, but I've never actually been late.
Oh, I'm sorry. I really felt like I did my due diligence trying
asleep,
to contact you. I felt like I really did the right thing.
Somehow, all of the technology failed tonight.
Well.
So, let's rewind. What did I miss? Just go ahead and do like the whole half hour for me.
We've just been talking about GTA 5, actually. We thought it was a good time to, because we're the only 2 in the group who have it. So...
console talk, eh? Well, you guys have fun. I'll see you guys next week.
Actually, so now that you're here, let's bounce to the news. All right. Battlelog is being updated for BF4. They've actually updated it for BF3, but most of these new features are coming to BF4. Battlelog drew lots of fire for replacing traditional in-game server browsers with a web service, but the new features may make people feel better about it. You will now be able to view the web browser in an in-game overlay, which is definitely better and totally different than a traditional in-game server browser. You'll be able to more easily hop between matches with friends and create missions for you and your friends to participate in, like the most kills with knives in one match, etc. You can also see leaderboards for your geographical area of choice, so I can look at my podunk town and see how much I'm pwning everyone else who doesn't own the game. The new Battlelog will also suggest medals and assignments for you to complete. I'm calling it now. There will be suggestions in-game for you to buy DLC and weapon shortcut packs. They are totally going to use the suggestion area to be like, did you know what just came out recently?
Bye. I will interject here. The new Battlelog will have a ton of awesome new features inside of Battlefield 4. However, one of those features will not be the ability to change servers.
Really? They took that out already?
It was never in. You can apparently see your stats, talk to your friends, do assignments, but not change servers in-game.
They said you could just jump in between.
DICE has clarified with several comments from multiple developers on Reddit that the ability to change servers is not in-game. But don't worry, you can still use your iPhone to change servers.
What?
That's actually a thing.
I don't care. I'm not going to bring up a... Never mind.
Or your iPad or other iDevice.
So you're going to use a half-useful tab, which no one will use now. No one will use it, because the only reason to use it is to go to another server. Or be like, hey, what server are you guys in? I can't join you if I see on there. Could I join Dave? Not from in-game, it sounds like.
Okay,
you have to use Battlelog.
Well, hold on. We don't know for sure that you can't join friends. You might still be able to join friends, but like a full-featured server browser is not currently in the overlay in-game.
Huh.
So you actually probably can join on friends if they're already in a server. Because
they said that. They said if you see a friend playing, you can just hop straight into their game.
Yeah.
But but I'm not sure. Maybe not, because you're going to have to get into a game first to join another friend's game.
But if
So you
you're
might as well
outside the
just go
game,
for
you can
the-
just join via
Which I
Battle.log.
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know why they're
browser.
acting like this is some revolutionary feature. Like every other multiplayer game does things pretty much that way. It's really just them that did the whole web browser thing. And Battlelog is awesome. Don't get me wrong. Like Battlelog has a lot of really cool stat tracking things and stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't really care. Like it's not a bad thing, but they shouldn't be pretending like this is some new amazing thing. To, hey guys, we put the server browser back in the game.
But actually, we didn't.
Twice. Yeah.
Just kidding. Psych.
Project Reality 2 is a mod for Battlefield 2 and Arma 2, and it just hit version 1.0 earlier this year. The devs have announced they will be developing a standalone version of the game. Built on CryEngine 3, the new Project Reality 2. It's still, I think, going to be called Project Reality 2, even though it's a brand new version. It aims to be one of the most realistic multiplayer shooters available. It will be free to play. Don't expect to release anytime soon. We know how it goes when someone makes a mod for Arma 2 and then promises a standalone, all right? The devs have wisely not announced any dates for alphas or betas. They've learned that lesson. There were no mention of dates, just, hey, we're going to start working on it.
Why do companies announce that and then they're gonna start
investors, stock prices. I mean, I don't know. They want people, they want hype.
Managers.
Well, if they're yeah, people trying to justify their paychecks. If they're a publicly traded company, you want the bump in stocks. If you're a privately held company, you want the buzz. You know, it's early publicity. Like, I mean, think about it. All DICE did was show like a couple seconds of the Star Wars game. Actually, it was a CG cutscene of Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
Like it's not even in-game footage, most likely. That's all they had to show, and people went nuts. So, you know, that's why they didn't announce a date or anything. For all I know, it's just like two guys sitting at a computer going, "All right, guys, look through and
hey guys,
see what you can find."
So today.
Oh, there's an alternate ending for The Last of Us, Joel. I just saw you post that in the comments. I'll have to watch that
awesome.
later.
I don't want to talk about it at all because just watch the video. It's only 5 minutes. Don't spoil it, Joel. Just everyone watch the video.
Can you vamp for 5 minutes?
Ding 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 ding.
All right, next item.
That's enough of that.
Error Screen Simulator SimCity has new DLC coming early November. Cities of Tomorrow lets players upgrade their cities with futuristic buildings, technologies, and there's even a maybe possibly evil corporation. This expansion should perform beautifully, as the 10,000 or so people still playing SimCity shouldn't slow the servers down on launch day.
And yet still no changes to the core simulation, the traffic, the map size, or anything that actually matters.
They could keep the simulation the same probably if they just made the map size like 5 times larger.
Actually, the simulation is directly tied to the map size.
Oh.
There's a lot of rounding going on right now in the simulation, a lot of estimation and rounding. And the bigger the map gets, the worse the rounding gets and the more errors that show up.
More errors?
The theory is that, like, as far as the simulation goes, that if you increase the city size, everything would just break even worse than it already is. Like,
What's
the
their
game
fault?
Yeah. It's disappointing.
Well, I mean, it does make sense. Cities XL Platinum, another city management game. That game runs like crap if you have one of the big maps. Like, it brought my computer down to 9 frames per second. I mean, and I didn't even have the whole map full. So, yeah.
Looks like you're gonna have to buy a $4,000 computer.
I couldn't really get a whole. I mean, I couldn't get a whole lot better. Honestly, I'm not like saying that to brag, but like, I mean, the best processors available are still. It's not like a linear upgrade. I could gain another like 20% of processor performance, but
for $1,000.
Exactly. Like it's like, it's not really worth it. It's not like a 64 gigs of RAM is going to make the game run faster. It only uses like 2 now.
But think of the bragging rights.
I do. Bohemia Interactive is releasing Arma Tactics onto PCs soon. Have you heard of Arma Tactics?
It's a thing.
It's XCOM style turn-based strategy game for iOS and Tegra 3 devices. The PC version will have advanced graphics and mouse and keyboard controls.
If you're really a bullet point feature, mouse and keyboard on PC. If
you're wondering why there isn't a ton of content in Arma 3 at launch, I'm sure this has nothing to do with it. And now, actually, I got a couple more announcements. AMD has announced new graphics cards. Now, the way they did it pretty much like NVIDIA does, where you really just introduce the one new card and then you rebrand all of the old ones to fit in the new line. They've introduced the R9 290X, the R9 290, the 280X, the 270X, 260X, and R7 250. So the way they're doing it now...
cheating?
What?
Is that almost cheating to reintroduce the same exact video card?
No, because you you put new features and stuff in it. But you it's the same performance level. Like they take the same guts of the card, they tweak it, optimize it, whatever they wanted to do, whatever they figured out since the first time they released it. Usually like better power handling, stuff like that, and then release it. So AMD is claiming that the 290X, their top of the line card, will beat a Titan in most modern games, specifically Battlefield 4. And the rumors are it's going to be hitting a price point of between $600 and $700.
Nice.
So it's basically looks like it's replacing the 6990 or 7990. It won't be a dual GPU card; it'll be a single GPU card. But it's going to have really, really awesome performance. Maybe that will prompt NVIDIA to drop the price of the 780 and the Titan. But yeah, I mean it's really cool, I guess. Their other cards.
How much was the Titan? Was that 1,000?
Is 1,000. Most of the other card, I mean, the Titan's 1,000, but it's a status card. It's not $1,000 of performance.
Yeah, the price has not changed despite like advances in the last months. Anyway, it's
you
just
can buy
there.
2 GTX 760s for $500, and they will equal a Titan. And if you overclock them, they will best a Titan.
But if you have 2 Titans,
then
if you have 2 Titans, you're out $2,000.
Yeah, it's like, oh, then you have a lot of money, I guess. I mean, you'll get more performance, but for what? If you're in a game in 4K on 3 panels,
8K, 8.
My goal in life is to use a Titan as like a doorstop or something.
Hey, it'll get there, dude. Remember the 8800 GTX?
Yeah.
Remember the
those are
GTX
awesome
280?
cards.
You wouldn't even wipe your butt with a 280 now.
I had an 8800 GTX actually that I won in a contest. That was a sweet card.
I put a friend of mine.
Was that AGP? Was that an AGP card?
No,
No,
it was
I think
PCI Express.
That was PCI Express. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It wasn't that
AGP
long ago.
is way
You
older than that.
youngins, you youngins.
I've had AGP before. A friend of mine, I was building a
I still have a
computer for him.
PCI, like straight PCI card somewhere around here.
I made a horrible decision once. I bought a ATI video card, and I thought I bought an AGP one at the time, which was supposed to be, what was it, 4 time or 6 time? I don't know what the crap it was at the time.
It was 4 and then 8. Yeah.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a 4 time. It was like the fastest one at the time, a really good one. And I was like, yeah, I bought it, ordered it, put it in my. Why does this look different? I bought the PCI version of it.
To make a note here that only Joel measures graphics card performance by like the slot speed.
An obscure thing that most everyone else doesn't know or care.
It'd be like saying, like, man, this external hard drive is like USB 3. Like, well, what kind of hard drive is it? It's USB 3.
Well, at the time, PCI is way slower than AGP. So.
It's true. It was.
So
that's
I just
a funny
bought,
way to measure graphics.
Well, you can just cut enough of the tabs off the card to make it fit the AGP slot, and you're good. So,
life hacks right there, guys.
I almost believed you for a second. You jerk.
I'm not interested in upgrading cards, considering I just got a second 7950, and so far, so good.
What's your total cost for those 2 cards?
Well, the first one I bought for $300 because it was much
Right.
newer. The second one I
newer.
got for $199. So you could buy 2 of them for $399 now. And my 3D Mark scores are quite fantastic. They are superior by like 20% to the quoted stuff AMD saying for the 290X, and they say that's better than a Titan. So according to 3D Marks, I score above the average build that has a Titan and a 4770K in it.
That's awesome.
That's some horsepower right there.
It is.
For half the price.
Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering because you guys are always hating on Crossfire. You need the new drivers. Oh my gosh, you need the new drivers. Windows defaulted to the old drivers when I put the second card in, and everything crashed. Nothing worked. Like, I couldn't even load Battlefield. But I just updated the drivers to the newest ones. Like, I mean, they defaulted me to drivers from like last year or something. So they were from when the cards were brand new. So I just installed the latest drivers and everything's fine. I can't overclock quite as far as I used to be able to. I don't know if that's because I'm running out of power on the PSU or if just because I know you can't overclock quite as far anyway, but I'm able to get both cards up to 980 megahertz.
I think when you have 2 cards, you're limited by the slowest card, and also the slots have to balance the speed. We're talking about slots again, actually. That's kind of funny.
I mean, there are limitations. I had it before to 1150, and I think I probably could get to 1200 without a whole lot of effort. So, you know, 980 is not like that awesome. But I mean, it's a ton of performance. Temperatures aren't bad. Sweet. Noise isn't bad. Like once I installed the new drivers, it's been pretty smooth sailing. I will say the only game I've been playing since I got it is Battlefield, because I've been playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto on my PS3. And Battlefield, like the frames are definitely higher. Like it'll go to the 120s, 130s with every single thing on Ultra, all the anti-aliasing all the way up, everything. At this point, anti-aliasing does not affect these cards anymore, which is nice.
Nice, that's very nice.
But some people have been complaining online that they think that since the battle log updates, Battlefield, they've been getting worse frame rates. Have you noticed that? Like,
not at all, actually.
Okay, I've heard people complaining about it, and it just seemed to happen at the same time I did this upgrade, so I didn't know if that was related or not. But when the frame rate dips, it seems to dip lower than it did when I had a single card. Like it'll dip all the way down to like the 40s and 50s.
That's strange. That's really strange.
But most of the time, it's like 80s to 100s. I mean, you know, the dips are very brief dips.
Do you know lock yours to 60 like FPS?
No.
Try it with VSync and with more buffering. There's actually a text file where you can increase the frames ahead.
Yeah. I should tell it to do that because I've got loads. I've got 6 gigs of graphics memory now.
Because for me with SLI, my average frame rate was actually much higher. My dips weren't nearly as bad, but what did happen was occasionally I got micro stutter where the cards got out of sync just very briefly. It was just enough to throw you off.
I haven't had any micro stutter issues. I did load up Arkham City briefly to try out, but Arkham City is notorious for not really responding to dual cards that well. So that one, I didn't really see performance improvements, but I didn't see any micro stutter, no micro stutter in Battlefield either. So I would say so far, I'm pretty happy. You know, we'll see. Like the big test of it is not how does it perform now, but can I run Battlefield 4 on Ultra? And can I run Star Citizen and the DayZ standalone and like everything else? I'm planning on not replacing these cards for like a year and a half minimum.
Can you get 20 FPS in DayZ? We shall see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try to string these cards along as I possibly can.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the new AMD cards. Joel, I would still recommend, if you really want good performance in that rig, like, don't get a 760.
You're persuading me. You're persuading me.
And to be honest, Joel, I'm not going to argue against it. I mean, they're good cards. I'm just in my comfort zone here, so.
And there's nothing wrong with liking NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a solid company, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
have
like the guy who's like,
NVIDIA. I'm only NVIDIA, like I'm waving the flag, but I'm just used to it.
I have no hate towards NVIDIA at all. I like NVIDIA fine. I've just been continuously impressed by the price to performance ratio of ATI and then AMD cards. I feel like I've always been able to get more performance for the dollar out of an AMD
I did have a
card.
question. With the GTX, I think 560 that I have, it wouldn't make any sense to just get another 560, would it?
None of 560. I would say sell it while you can.
Well, I mean, it would be faster, yes, but with all the other stuff you're getting for your new computer, I mean, both of those 560s together would still be slower than one 7950 probably. So, or about equal. I just wouldn't bother.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't remember how many. I thought my card is it a 1 gig or 2 gig?
It doesn't.
Memory isn't a big deal.
Yeah, memory's not a big deal.
As long as you have a gig, then you're good to go.
Okay.
a gig or higher, and you're good. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's something to think about.
I just want to make sure I have more than 3 for Battlefield 4.
When the new AMD cards hit the market, I don't know when you're buying your new GPU, but when the AMD cards actually hit the market, if you see 7950s hit like 150 to 175, that's just a crazy deal.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Plus
the free games too.
Oh yeah, you'll get 6 free games.
it's almost free at that point.
How about
we got Battlefield news too,
each one of you
here.
guys? We need to actually get into the topics.
Oh, I have more news. I have more big news. I have more big news.
Okay.
Me too.
This is just a packed podcast.
But I don't want to hear about the Battlefield news.
This isn't Battlefield news.
No, Joel, you want to hear this. You do, trust me.
Oh, well, is it quick? Because I've got longer news.
It's really quick, yeah. Just a couple of quick points here.
Go for it.
The anti-cheat in Battlefield 4 will be two-prong, both
Yeah, I'm really scared about that.
What is it called here? It's called, where did it go? Fair Fight, I think it's called.
Yeah,
Fair Fight, which is essentially a official version of all those annoying server plugins that kick you or kill you for doing too well. Basically, if you skew too far out of the average, you're punished for being good. Now, this might be okay if DICE configures it so it's like, if you kill someone with a spawn beacon, you're kicked. Or if you just kill 100 people in 2 seconds, you're kicked. But if it's like too close to the average and it's going to punish good players, that's going to be miserable.
For abuse. Yeah, I see too many opportunities to have that abused.
And Yeko pointed out too that if they open this up to be configured by server owners, we are so screwed. That's going to be miserable. Like the third-party plugins suck enough as it is.
Official servers only.
I thought you said this was going to be good news, Dave.
Okay, this wasn't the good news.
Oh, okay, I was like, this news sucks.
I mean, okay,
we get another Punk Buster thing to not work, and so I can't play with you guys.
If it's done right, it could be a good thing, but it has a lot of potential to go really, really wrong too.
Maybe I'll get Battlefield 4 on PS4, and I won't have to worry about hacking and cheating and all that crap.
Or having fun, or 64-player maps, or
hey,
or looking at nice things.
They're having 64 players.
Oh, they are. Oh, good, good. I'm glad you guys have finally caught up to 2005. No, they're not.
Wait,
yeah, they are.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
Great, you're caught up with 2005. Let's go.
So.
Yeah, actually, I think
as soon as we catch up, it's like, oh, 64 is not a big thing.
Oh, because you're always like, oh, when the Xbox 360 came out, you couldn't build a PC for $1 billion that would play modern games. But Battlefield 2 in 2005 had 64 players.
DICE actually tested Battlefield 3 with 128 players and said that it was kind of neat, but also kind of overwhelming, and that for their style of game, it was just a little bit too much.
They could have done
how
that
much
on,
of that was like
on
excuses,
the giant Bandidar Desert. I bet could have 128 and feel fine.
That would be kind of cool, yeah. But the news that Joel actually is going to really, really be happy about here, all the game modes have been announced. 7 game modes for all 10 maps at launch. There's some bomb modes, some usual conquest, rush, domination. But the one that Joel's going to be excited about...
SWAT mode.
He's always been whining that Battlefield needs to have a Halo-style mode. Just like that, actually. Like
what's Halo style? What's the definition of Halo style?
SWAT, actually.
What's SWAT?
Diffuse mode is going to be a mode in Battlefield 4 where it's going to be 5 versus 5. You get 1 life. And you have an objective, just one objective to complete, like setting off a bomb or something.
Oh, Counter-Strike mode.
Yeah, it's basically, it's a competitive Counter-Strike mode. Yeah.
Okay, nice. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
I'm pretty excited about it myself. It's just, I'm more excited about Joel not being able to whine about it anymore. Like, every time we're playing Conquest, it's like, I just really want like a SWAT mode, guys. It just in my heart, I just really want a SWAT mode.
In my heart of hearts is probably what I said.
I think so, yeah, that was your exact words. But, we also have a date for the official worldwide DDoS of Origin, which begins at 4 a.m. on Tuesday, also known as the Battlefield 4 beta. So at 4 a.m., don't attempt to play anything on Origin on Tuesday. It will come crashing down around
We'll be playing GTA Online while that gets fixed out.
I said we should totally hop on at the same time so I can download it quicker than you guys and be playing you still have 30 minutes to go.
I'm curious though, for the launch day of Battlefield 3 back in 2011, we all managed to unlock the game. I think it was like 10 hours early with a Korean VPN.
Yeah.
Because we had it preloaded. We were playing at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. on Monday. I wonder if that'll work this time. I will totally do that.
I will be prepared. I'll just let you figure it out and tell me what to do. As soon as I can preload the beta, I'll do it. Yeah. Just like with DayZ, I will let you find out the information and then pass it along.
Let you do the work.
Well, you know.
And that is the Battlefield 4 news. See, that was pretty quick.
All right, so I have some huge news. You guys been following Valve this week?
Heck yes.
Valve has announced, first bit of news, they have 3 announcements this week. One of them's tomorrow, and both Joel and I are going, Half-Life 3, Half-Life 3, Half-Life 3.
I'm just sitting back and laughing at you all.
Unless it's released, in which case you'll be like, Yee!
Yeah, in that case you will cry.
Hey, if it's released, I'm buying like 4 copies.
You're what? What happens if it's released?
If it's released, I'm buying like 3 copies. Just because.
They've announced.
I'm just laughing though because you guys' enthusiasm for Half-Life 3 is me with DayZ standalone. It's just I see it from the other side.
I feel like we've been hurt longer than you have.
Yeah, we've been
2007,
hurt way longer.
When I bought the orange box. When I bought the orange box, they said we're going to be releasing a new game every year, a new episode, and that was in 2007, and that was 6 years ago. 6 years. And I've been
dude.
playing.
And the
Deep
fact
scars.
And episode 2 was amazing. Episode 2
And it-
was so good. And there
it
was a
ended with a
cliffhanger. At the
cliffhanger.
end, and it was some of the best gameplay I've ever played. And it was awesome. And I loved it. And they're just like, and F off, guys. We're never going to talk about it again.
You guys say that like I haven't played every Half-Life ever. And then
You're just not that type of
participating
fan, Dave.
See,
Right.
we all have our things to be angry about. You get to be, or not angry, but anxious. You're anxious for the DayZ standalone. We're anxious for Half-Life 3. Joel's anxious for consoles.
Come on,
There was
emotions.
there was so much judgment in that console.
Hey, I like my PS3. It knows its place.
Oh,
Get back there. Back.
none of that back talk.
So
Make me a
they've announced
sandwich.
the Steam OS. It's based off of Linux. This operating system supposedly offers major performance increases over Windows platforms because all it's going to be is it's going to be like games based. That's all they've announced. They haven't announced if you'll be able to run other typically Linux, Linux programs on it. But because they are stripping away a lot of the normal operating system stuff that Windows would have, it'll be more like the operating system of a console.
Dave, you still there?
Bye, Jeremiah.
I'll continue with that if he doesn't come back. Or
Yes,
actually,
Joel,
never
tell us
mind.
about SteamOS.
Yeah, well, it's because they're stripping it back and removing all the actual, most of the software stuff that to do other things other than games. Yeah, the game improvement is going to be ridiculously faster. And I did research on that, and this guy did a test with Left 4 Dead 2, I believe. Yeah, it was Left 4 Dead 2. Same specs, the same computer using Ubuntu, I think. And Left 4 Dead 2 got a consistent 140 FPS on the Ubuntu Linux version. And on the PC, it was barely struggling about 40 FPS. All on Ultra or whatever the highest graphics were on that game. So, that's going to be awesome to see because, you have your computer to do all the kinds of things, and games is secondary because PC's not made just specifically for games. It's made to do everything. So, having a system that's made specifically for games, especially if you could just jump right into it and just boot right into that OS, or if you have one built down
Sorry, I'm
by
back.
your TV or whatever. I just continued on for you, so.
Okay, what are we
Whether or
on
not
about?
I'm just continuing with the Linux system and how you're saying how it works faster, specifically for games.
Supposedly.
Yeah, Joel's got this. Joel's got this.
They haven't really
He dropped
detailed
some proof. He dropped some proof here.
You have some proof?
Some Left 4 Dead benchmarks, not with SteamOS,
really?
but with a Linux distro,
So
where the
this way.
performance was much higher.
What's much
It was-
higher?
Left 4 Dead 2 ran at 140 FPS on high, and on the same exact system, same specs, it ran about 40 FPS on PC.
That was a crappy old system. I mean,
What? Yeah, I guess so. So it was all full high and everything. So it'd probably be my computer level because that's what it usually runs at if I do full high.
Yeah.
Other cool
But-
things. They say it's going to support hundreds of AAA titles when it releases, but if it doesn't support a game that you like that you have in your Steam library, you can stream your games over your local network to this computer hooked up to your television or wherever. So I don't know about you guys, but my plan is to build a spare parts computer like I used to have before we moved into this camper. I had a home theater computer with like a Core 2 Duo and a cheap Radeon card. And I like 2 gigs of RAM or something, and that was my home theater computer. So I probably build something, comparable to that, and then I could play games in the living room, and then I could just stream stuff to the living room. Like that would be really, really awesome.
You know what's funny
we'll see
though?
what
Like
it is.
with this announcement, I'm excited for all the cool stuff it has. It's great for most people, but for me, I'm like, my PC is also my productivity stuff, so I'm not really going to use the OS. It's cool. I'm not going to use it though. And for the streaming, I'm like, well, that's really awesome, but I actually went to the trouble of installing Cat 6 on all my walls, so I have an HDMI cable I just plug into my wall and it goes to my living room. So I'm like,
Well, yes, you do.
I'm not going to use that.
Yeah,
I
you
know,
might
it's
not.
just funny because everyone else at work is like all excited about it. And I'm like, that's cool. You're catching up to Dave finally.
Well,
What?
the thing is, I guess what you should be excited for is the fact that they're building a system that's made specifically for games, and this is going to change gaming really forever. If it works,
Possibly.
if it does what it says, imagine your computer running 20 times better than what it is already.
Well,
That's-
Linux
we'll
has been
see.
operating on that promise for a while. It doesn't always pan out.
Well, that's because there's not really that big support for it. There really
That's
isn't.
true.
But imagine this goes out, and let's say they release Half-Life 3 on it. Holy crap. People are going to be pushing their games to it. They're going to be making dedicated software for it. It's going to become legit. It'll be a legit thing.
Yeah.
So in fact, it'll almost be like a Vita or a PS3 or a PS4 where it's like dedicated hardware, except you can do whatever you want with it. But since it's running on that system and it's going to be such like, I don't know, just so optimized for that type of system, it's going to be awesome.
I'm wondering
and it's a UI. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
They say that you can make like your own custom machine. I wonder if there's going to be restrictions on what type of processors and stuff it can have. Like, I wonder if you'll have to stick to Intel CPUs and, you know, NVIDIA GPUs or something like that.
They said in the description for it that it's going to be totally moddable and upgradable and changeable.
Totally moddable and upgradable. That doesn't, I mean, that, you know, they didn't say, like, can you run it on an Android phone? Can you wipe the phone and install Linux on it? I mean, you know, there are limitations, obviously. We just don't know what they are.
Well, yeah, phones, maybe. That might be upgraded, but...
What's the difference? A phone's got a processor. I mean, does it have to be an x86 processor?
Yeah. I think that's probably it right there.
Then you could run this on a Surface Pro?
Ooh,
I'll just go ahead and predict this. I'll just go ahead and predict this. Basically, I think what a Steam box is there's two versions. One, you already have a computer. You can install Steam OS, run it from that if you want. They also said they're keeping Steam as it is on computers as well. So there'll be two different things. The last option is I think they're going to be building form factor type Steam boxes. And I bet they'll have in a few different versions, you know, like a small, really tiny one. They said to be really quiet. That's another thing where I don't want to bring my effing computer downstairs because it's effing loud. That's just not cool, okay? So, but having a small form factor,
your new one won't be.
Yeah, thank goodness. But anyways, you know, it's huge, big, the stupid LEDs and crap. It's like if you build a small one, you can fit it right underneath your desk or out of the way, and it just works remotely with a controller. And it's built for a big TV, for big icons and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to see.
You could also you could get like a net top, you know, a net top computer or something running like one of those AMD APUs or an i3 with integrated graphics or something. You know, not incredible gaming performance, but halfway decent. You could run Half-Life, or you could run Left 4 Dead 2 or Dota on low settings or something like that. Wouldn't be a problem.
My computer right now, I can run Skyrim on complete ultra, and I would plug it in downstairs, but it's just kind of a eyesore down there, and I don't like that.
Net tops you can buy for like $300, and they're small. They're the size of like a couple DVD cases, smaller than a game console, and you could stick them under your TV. So like that really could be a console for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going to make. They're going to make small versions. They're going to probably make a mid-tower one or something like that you can upgrade to your heart's content. But you know, they're not going to really need a CD drive for a Steam box. That's the cool
definitely
thing.
Not.
You know, they can sell it cheaper. They don't need a CD drive. You just need a hard drive and whatever.
So yeah, that's all the news. I know the news took a while this time, but
yeah, and that's our show.
No. We have a topic. What's the topic?
We do have a topic.
Well, since we kind of covered the first one, which was the Steam stuff, my second topic was, what are your predictions for tomorrow? And then what are your hopes and dreams for tomorrow?
I want to see Half-Life 3 announced just so I can see Joel cry at work.
Wait, if it gets announced, Joel, you have to call me so we can cry together.
I will. I'll call you.
That's a little weird.
It's not weird. It's Half-Life 3, Dave. You don't understand.
Okay, I understand it. It's still a little weird.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah,
it's not that you don't get it. It's it's a bad idea.
Conference, call me in, please.
It's more that Dave will actually understand while he's crying with us.
Yeah, like seriously.
I understand.
I just don't want to be excluded, you know, just I'm into the call, you know.
I told Dave, I said when we leave work tomorrow, we're gonna walk outside and we're gonna like see all these spaceships and crap, and then we're gonna realize the Oculus Rift is actually on our heads, that they secretly came to our offices, and we've actually just been living in the Source Engine 2 for the last year. Surprise!
All right, so actual predictions.
I think they're gonna show off a controller, or at least just talk about it.
I would say a controller and Source 2 possibly.
I want to see Source 2 more than a controller because I don't want that emotional.
No, this is predictions, Dave. This is predictions, not hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
What do you think you're gonna see?
Okay, I think I'm gonna see a controller.
I mean, what else would they have to announce, really? Like, unless you're doing Half-Life 3 or a new engine or something. I mean,
I also really want Steam's new engine, well, Valve's new engine, to be called the Steam engine. I just really want that. That would kind of make my day.
Whenever you start the game up.
That'd be fantastic.
Hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams.
I mean, Half-Life 3, or a Left 4 Dead 3. You know, I'd also take that.
That makes people angry.
Okay, and this is going to super uber fanboyism, and this is for Ben and this is for James. How do you want it to be released? Like when they show it off
Half-Life
tomorrow,
3?
Yeah, like how do you want What do you want to happen?
I want what every Half-Life fan wants. I want a dark stage.
Here we
And
go.
then the screen is black.
Buckle
and you
up,
see
guys.
like
Here we
maybe
go.
some swirling smoke or something like on the screen, like something ominous, and the music just gets like eerie, like the music in The Dark Knight when the Joker does his first heist, like that. It sounds like an orchestra just starting to like squeal the instruments, just a bit like the and there's just like a low rumble, like a
Man, you've thought this through.
and then it builds,
Dude,
a little bit,
dreamed
but
of
it's still
this.
like it's still rumbling, and then it just fades out to just this, and then you hear him, "Wake up, Mr. Freeman.
Oh,
You are
dude.
needed again." And as soon as you hear the first wake, the whole place is gonna go.
Wait, higher pitched, more of a like a squeal. There it is. Like imagine girls at like a Justin Bieber concert. That's probably the pitch that we'll hit.
And then
peeing myself.
and then a live action like 5-second trailer with like 5 like or 10 half-second super short cuts of the most photorealistic, eye-melting goodness you've ever seen in your entire life. And then Gabe Newell walks out onto the stage and goes, "It's free to play. It comes out in 20 minutes." Someone hands him a mic, because he's wearing a wireless, of course. Someone hands him a mic, and he just drops it on the stage.
Is that when he finally ascends into heaven?
Explosions and orange fire.
You missed one detail, Jeremiah. You said 20 minutes. That's not a Gabe move. You know their giant release button? The stage opens up, smoke rolls out, and it rises out of the stage, and he drops the mic onto the release button.
Yeah.
Or, no, what if he did something like, "Okay, guys,
Jumps belly flops. He belly flops onto the launch button.
what if he says something like, the first Team Fortress 2 team that can last for 96 hours straight, like Half-Life 3 will be released. There'll be so many desperate people."
Someone's gonna die.
I was
Exactly. How bad do you want it?
He requires a human sacrifice.
Do what it takes.
oh my, could you imagine?
David is hungry.
The first scalp I
Give
received
your
on my
life to me.
Did you say scalp, John?
the first scalp I receive on my doorstep, the game will release.
Holy crap.
No, he's gonna say like, "I want Jack Trenton's head. Bring me Jack Trenton's head."
Like the whole world just like reverts back to medieval times like instantly.
Oh, what if it was something ridiculous, like some real world thing? What if they said there was an ARG they're gonna put out, and and you have to solve it, and it's like the hardest thing in the world, like quantum mechanics level.
The first person to cure
Business is
cancer
shut
gets
down.
the first copy.
Yeah, no one eats for like weeks as they're figuring it out. I told
Wow,
Dave.
we are sad people.
I told Dave earlier today. I was like, you know what they're gonna do, because I follow every little tidbit of Half-Life news. And I'm so sad.
There aren't that many tidbits to
I
follow.
know.
How long does
Anything.
that take you each day?
I follow even the fake news. I know it's
the
fake,
weekly
but I still
Half-Life
follow
3
it.
tidbit. No.
It's true. He follows the fake news. Like even though he knows it's fake, he's like, I just want to experience it for like a little
I
while.
want to believe.
I told Dave, people were saying that Half-Life 2 and Half-Life 1, they're getting updates right now on Steam, right? And I told Dave, what if it's all actually preloading right now secretly? So he just like presses the button, he's like, boosh, opens his hands like this, the bass drops. And it's like, it's already on your computer and it's free. Enjoy, world!
What if he says the minimum required card is a Titan to run it? Like,
I-
what if he's
I
like,
buy
many
one today.
sold.
like
I
the
would
next
buy one
Crisis?
today.
It's like the next Crisis. You know, when Crisis came out, it really was like, how good's your
That'd be
computer?
beyond Crisis,
The best thing on the
actually.
market? Can't do it. Like, that's how Crisis was. Like, it didn't matter what you had. You couldn't run the game all the way up. So what if he does that?
I would be buying a Titan.
You're just like, whatever it takes. I mean,
Joel cancels his movie.
I like how matter of
instantly.
fact you are about that. It's not like, well, I guess I'd have to figure something out. It's like, well, I mean, obviously, my only choice at that point would be to buy a Titan. So
You guys are gonna come to my house like a week later, and there's like blood on my hands, everything. I'm like, I killed a man.
we'll grab the AR-15s, head to Micro Center.
Oh, this got so dark.
Maybe Half-Life 3 brings along the apocalypse.
Yeah, you have to kill each other for it. It's like a gladiator style.
What if Gabe Newell said,
There's only 50,000 copies.
Half-Life 3 is in his will. Upon his death, it's released.
Oh my gosh.
Stuff just got real.
Forgive us. Jazz in the back. Shh. No more tears, only dreams.
Wow,
And then when you start the game up,
wild.
it's got a gif of him like shaking his finger at the screen, going
And then it boots in Ricochet 2.
And then the game starts. It's like, welcome to the special hell.
Okay. I always thought, like, if I was him, I would make a fake game if I was him. I always thought it'd be awesome if they made a fake game, or just under some stupid thing like that game, the unicorn game on Steam, right?
That's not a fake game. That's a totally real game.
I know. I'm saying, like.
And have you played it yet?
I have not played it yet. I gifted it to James. And then
Who did I buy it for? I think I bought it for Steve.
I sent it to Daniel.
So we've all bought it. That's the point.
And
it's like hot potato the game.
What if they replaced that game with Half-Life 3 and they just waited until someone randomly stumbled upon it? It was like, holy crap! Yeah.
What if one of the train simulator DLCs was Half-Life 3? There's so many.
People are like buying all the DLC.
You'll never find them all.
This is the greatest podcast ever.
How long did that go on just now? It was like 10 minutes of...
Not long enough.
Yeah, we just spent a lot of time thinking about this, I suppose. Dreaming.
I mean, let's be honest. It's really all that could happen tomorrow. On a slightly more serious note, what else could they announce? I mean, they've said they're not going to be showing off the OS yet. They're not showing off the Steam box yet. You think?
I think so.
Why wouldn't they just save? They ought to just save that announcement for last.
I feel like it's under the hardware.
Well,
like
what if it's a controller? What if it's a new type of controller? I know that Valve, they've been working like with virtual reality and telekinesis and all kinds of things. Well, I mean, like the computer version of telekinesis. They've been working on that stuff for years.
Supernatural powers,
just trying to see what they can come
abilities.
up with. So, I mean, maybe it's a controller that changes the way you think about controllers. You never know. Or, I mean, I think they'd save their last announcement to just be like, hey, this looks a lot like an Xbox 360 controller.
What if the controller is a life-size replica of the gravity gun with force feedback for Half-Life 3?
Yeah. Yeah, I could do that.
Like, you gotta like hold it with two hands.
That's what they did for Resident Evil 4 when it came out in the GameCube. They released a GameCube controller that was a chainsaw. Which I just picked one up in a GameStop and held it once. I was like, you can't play the game with this. This is terrible.
On a realistic tone, I honestly believe, like, I mean, other than the fact that it's got to be so hard for them to do any kind of announcements because everything, people are waiting for it so bad. You know what I mean? That if this was anybody else, if this was EA, it'd be like, oh, it's exciting. Let's see what they announce. But they're like, whatever. You know what I mean? It's not going to be that huge of a hype.
For Valve, it has to be everything or nothing for Half-Life 3. Like, it's got to be just unbelievably big. It has to be huge.
Or they could do like the flattest release ever. They could just release like a screenshot, or like a little graphic on the Steam store.
I'm not talking about like the amount of the release. I'm talking about just whatever they show has to be like mind blowing.
Yeah, the game has to blow you away.
Yeah, it's been too long.
Yeah, honestly, it's never going to live up to the hype. People are going to be disappointed when it comes out.
My biggest hope for tomorrow, realistically, is that they're going to show the controller or just talk about it, since the last two ones are more just article. So my guess is you probably just read about it than if they actually show off a controller. We'll still see. But I would love for that little TV screen on that, or whatever it is, it'd be awesome if it doesn't end on Friday. Like, they show this, but then they have one last little teaser to say something's coming in, whether it's 30 days or 60 days, but something that's awesome. They just give one more little teaser, but I'm going to be so let down if it's just like a controller tomorrow, because I'm sure it'll probably be a cool controller that'll work good. James thinks that it might be a controller that it's like you can remove things and adjust it to how you want. So
that would be cool, actually.
Something like that. I don't know how they would do that, but cool. there was patents that Valve had put on. But I hope they have something. But I'm hoping that little screen changes and the logo comes out. And we enter into our screens.
Here we go again.
If they really want to kickstart like the Steam box, they should just include Half-Life 3 with the Steam box when it launches.
Can you imagine how many sales that would make?
A bit. Well, probably wouldn't sell better than Grand Theft Auto 5, which is officially the biggest entertainment release of all history ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be
$1 billion, 3 days.
Yeah.
I bet. Do you think they're gonna hit $2 billion by a month?
No, but they'll probably be at $2 billion within a year. I mean, think about it. the people who were looking forward to Grand Theft Auto, they all bought it Tuesday.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Dave, I was telling Joel, I went with you guys early in the morning to get it for Joel. And then on the way home, I stopped by Walmart and bought it like in my town. And like, I was convinced enough playing it for just a couple hours. I bought it for myself.
They still had copies?
I walked into the store. I walked into the electronics section to say, hi, I'd like to get a game. And all they said was PS3 or 360.
They knew.
Yeah. And I mean, they had stacks. They had stacks of them. Like it looked like they were probably just shuffling through them all day. In the brief time it took me to pick it up, buy it, and leave, like 3 minutes, 3 other people showed up to buy too. And that was at like
nice
10 at night.
Dang.
I mean, so it's good.
So are you guys gonna just leave work if Half-Life 3 comes out tomorrow?
Tomorrow is my birthday.
It
so
is? Oh, nice.
Happy birthday to Germ.
Yeah, I mean,
that's enough of that.
Okay, we're adults. Birthdays are no longer exciting anymore. You guys both know that.
Wait, do you get to spend money on yourself tomorrow? Like, just for no reason?
I guess I could.
Because you should buy things.
Like what?
You're an adult, whatever you want.
Well, there's a difference between, like, can buy and should buy.
But it's your birthday. That's a free ticket to buy stuff you don't really need.
Is this how it works over at your house?
I mean, it would if Mint.com wouldn't come after me with a giant red email afterwards.
Well, I mean, I guess
you bought how many rifles?
I guess if I didn't like the concept of a savings account, we could just go hog wild. No, actually, my bank, I don't borrow money on stuff. I just don't. I do have a credit card that I just put gasoline on, just so I'm using it to build up a little bit of credit, because otherwise I wouldn't have a credit history.
That's the correct way to do things right there.
So they keep bumping up my credit limit because they want me to be spending, I'm spending like $200 a month on gas. They're wanting me to spend, that's not enough for them, and I'm not paying interest, so they're not happy with that. So they keep bumping up my credit limit, so I could just, get that and make some questionable decisions. But no, my plan is just to stay home, and I'm actually, what's significant for me is I haven't had a birthday where I wasn't working since I was 13. So tomorrow I'm not doing any freelance work. I'm not going to be available for tech support calls, anything. I'm laying on the couch and playing Grand Theft Auto.
I'm going to text you with like desperate need for advice for PC parts. Like,
okay,
help me, Jeremiah. I need tech support right now.
No, actually, if you're working on that build tomorrow, let me know. I'll happily hop on Skype and chat. I mean,
there
computer parts. No, computer parts. I'm in. I'm there.
That's moving, by the way. Like, the wheels are turning.
The wheels are turning.
And that final list is more or less what would be the official build. So,
how's that final list looking? Was it looking? Oh, the final list we talked about, like was it a 3770 or 4770?
I think I bumped it back to the 4770 because you had it as something else too. I think
I tried the 4960X just to show hey, you could be crazy if you wanted to, but it's not worth the extra money.
I thought it was funny though. It's like, awesome CPU, ridiculous, 680 or 780 GTX graphics card, but they're like, is this second hard drive like really necessary? What?
Yeah, I mean that'll be a beast. Will you get to build it, or will someone else get the honors?
I'll get to build it and support it.
Oh my! Oh, you'll get to support it. That sounds more like we'll buy it, but it's your fault. Like it's your problem.
That means it's off the grid though, which is nice. Awesome.
Which means now what are you gonna do with your current work computer?
Probably turn it into my dedicated render box, which is currently a Mac Pro dual booting Windows 7, which is not a great solution.
What GPU is in it?
It's a Radeon, an older one though, because
not the Mac, your work computer.
Oh, the work computer. It's actually a GTX 580.
Okay, so not worth trading for home at all. Okay.
That just happened. I keep telling Joel that if he keeps sassing me, when I come to help him build his computer, I'm just going to smuggle all my parts in and stuff his computer full of my old parts and steal all his.
What you should just do is clock his CPU to like 2 gigahertz. He won't know the difference.
Yeah, because he's going to be like, this is so much faster than my old PC. It's amazing. Like, enjoy your gift computer.
You're getting a SSD with your computer, right, Joel?
Well, I already have an SSD for my older computer, so I'm just going to use that.
What type is it?
Samsung, I think it's 256.
Okay, that's a nice one then.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Cool.
I'm answering for Joel.
I'm glad that's moving forward for you. Yeah, definitely keep me updated. I'm always excited when people are buying computers. Like, it doesn't even matter how nice of a computer. Computers are just an exciting time for everybody.
So it could be I get paid from a project on. I got the check, but I don't. The money doesn't come through till Monday. So since it was an out of state check, so when it comes in Monday, I have to buy like crap and stuff for my movie. And then after that, PC.
Actually, for people watching, someone suggested in the comments I buy other people things on my birthday. I'm trying to go out to lunch with some friends in the area. Like, I posted an open Facebook call for any, but apparently, like, all my adult grown friends are busy at noon on a Friday. Go figure. Yeah, I'm gonna give away. I'm gonna give away a bunch of games tomorrow that I've got. Like, from buying bundles and whatever, I've got so many games. I've probably got 20 games that I've got codes for. So be on the lookout on Twitter. When I remember, this isn't a promise, because if I get going on Grand Theft Auto 5, I might just not do that. But my plan is to give away a bunch of them on Twitter tomorrow, so stay tuned for my benevolence to reign upon you.
Take the free games, take them.
Who wants a 5-year-old indie game?
You get an indie game, and you get an indie game, and you get an indie game.
My birthday is on the 12th of October, and I'm trying to decide what to do because I actually have that weekend off. I don't have a wedding I have to shoot, so.
Ooh.
You know what came to mind, though? Like, I really want to have a LAN party. I think that'd be fun.
You told me about this, and then I explained it like...
So there's no freaking games to play with.
Well, there's Arma. We can have a LAN party now, it's just not in the same room.
Yeah, but that's awesome.
We could, like, start a Minecraft server. And
actually, I think
we have a Minecraft server, actually.
What?
Dr. J has a Minecraft server.
Chris and I had one for a while.
And I may have been obsessed with it for like 20 straight hours before I just closed the game and never opened it again.
That's yeah, sounds familiar.
I saw where that was going. It's like, I'm a 3D artist. Why am I building things in Minecraft for hours at a time? I could build productive things. Not in Minecraft.
Yeah, we play video games. I don't really think that argument holds for most of the things we do.
Yeah, right, but in Minecraft, you're just straight creating things in a sandbox.
Yeah.
But if you're having fun, does it matter?
Yeah. Time
that you enjoy wasting
is not wasted time. Yeah. That
I had it there until you ruined it.
That quote would have been better.
Yikes.
Oh, we are doing a Breaking Bad finale party Monday night.
Oh man, Monday.
Well, because I don't have cable, so I get it on iTunes Monday. It comes out the next day.
Man, I wish I could be at that.
And I got episodes to watch still. I think we're still 4 behind.
That's gonna be a sad party.
Yeah.
No, Dave, you don't even know.
I think we should all just bring swords to fall on afterwards. Like, everyone
Why am I laughing?
It'll just be a bunch of people sitting around with like vodka bottles, just crying.
Yeah, everyone bring your own vodka and hangman's nooses for afterwards.
No, I have a few extra to spare, so if you forget yours, I might have an extra.
Joel's always prepared with hangman's nooses, apparently.
After that, we'll watch Schindler's List to cheer up.
And then Old Yeller to top things off.
And then a Nicholas Sparks movie for all the women who somehow made it through all of that.
You know, all that laughter almost made me forget that Half-Life 3 probably won't be announced tomorrow.
So much good history.
No, but really, real talk, guys, real talk. If Half-Life 3 is announced tomorrow,
I'll be leaving work and buying all my computer parts.
I would say we don't know if it's actually coming out tomorrow.
It doesn't matter. I'll still be taking off work.
Yeah, Joel, what are you going to do?
Just to rest and sleep in the nirvana of knowing it's coming out.
How much would it suck, Joel, if it came out tomorrow, you ordered all your parts, but they won't get here until Wednesday because of the weekend? Would that just kill you inside?
It's okay, Joel. I'll record the whole game and upload it online so you can watch.
That would really... Oh, man. Oh, I don't want to think about that.
You'd play it on your current computer. You know you would.
No, I would want to so bad. I would want to so bad, but I would have to say no. I'd have to say
Stay
no.
strong, Joel. Stay strong.
Joel, you don't say no to playing stuff when it looks bad on a computer. You play on a console.
Half-Life 3 is the only game I care about graphics. Literally, the only game I really care. I don't care about any other games. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I can play at 30 FPS in any game. It's just fine. It runs and it boots and it works fine. But Half-Life 3, that's the reason I got into PC gaming. So
That's same here.
it'll probably be the last computer I ever build. I will care about.
Definitely not true.
I think that's actually really true.
I think it's not true.
Because my computer right now edits HD video and everything just fine for the last several years.
Everyone always feels like when they build a computer, how could life get any better? And then 3 years go by, you're like, oh, quadruple the power for half the cost. I could do that.
Yeah, but why do you upgrade? Do you upgrade because you need it? Is your software programs that slow?
Yeah, I mean, as the programs get more and more features, you need more power to run them.
Well, not for the
That'd be like you could edit HD video. You could edit HD video in the early 2000s on a Windows XP single core Pentium 4. That could edit HD video. So why aren't you using one of those?
Because Half-Life 2.
Boom!
I upgraded my computer on Half-Life 2, so yeah.
There will come a point where even your productivity will start to grind to a halt.
It will be a very long time. It'll be a very long
could
time.
be 4 or 5 years.
A lot of the same programs, so.
It could be 4 or 5 years, but it will happen.
I'm just saying, my last computer I had that was doing HD video, it's the same speed as this computer. Like, I don't notice any difference. I'm using the same programs. I don't do 3D stuff like you. I don't do After Effects stuff. I don't do a lot of heavy stuff like that.
The biggest difference for video editing,
it's just for games.
The biggest difference with video rendering is the render time. That's what you're gonna see the biggest difference in. Yeah, it's gotten to the point now where like playback speed can be, your previews will be affected by your GPU. Yeah. Like how can it render the effects and stuff if you have those on. But other than that, it's just render time. That's the only thing you're improving. So yes, there is a very real difference with render times on a faster computer. But if the render time isn't a big deal, like if you can just leave it for a while and come back to it, who cares?
It could be like eight years like before I want to upgrade again, because Half-Life 3 is the only game I really care about playing with a mouse and keyboard. I just don't want to play with a controller. I want to.
If you keep playing games with us, we will peer pressure you into experiencing the good stuff, Joel.
Well, I will.
I know about the peer pressure. Dave's doing that to me now. He was like, "Hey, you pre-ordered Battlefield 4," even though he knows I've told him I wasn't going to.
I know. I'm not. Either,
and he's like, "Well, you should get it. We need the crew back together," making it sound like you're the family. Your family loves you.
You know what that means? He wants us back for his YouTube videos. That's the one thing about you guys, your channels. It's kind of like, hey, Joel, can you play a game? Are you making a video for this? Maybe. Can we just play as friends? I thought I was good enough just to play as friends, but now it's
There's nothing wrong with being friends.
Joel,
that make money
I want to
off
share
each
you
other.
with the world. The world needs to experience Joel. I think.
You didn't say that a few years ago. Change your mind.
Yeah, I kept you hidden for a while until the world was ready. They're still not quite ready, I don't think, but.
And bye, Joel. My laptop's finally dying with battery.
I was like, what do you do? You're just like gonna stand up and
everybody wave. Bye, Joel. So wait,
this
Joel,
is a power cord, people.
All right, that's nice.
My computer. Joel, have you not pre-ordered Battlefield 4 yet?
No, and I won't.
Why not?
Because I love teasing you.
Is it just gonna be me and Edgar on launch day, like enjoying the awesomeness, and you guys are all by yourselves?
No, I told you if
I'll
they
probably get it the second beforehand. But I'm just not pre-ordering now because I just don't need it now. Why do I need to pre-order?
There's no point in pre-ordering and getting the first expansion for free because I'm already gonna get it like with premium. If I get Battlefield 4, I'm getting premium. So, you know.
Well, yeah, you really just need it for the preload. Like as long as you don't wait until the day before, you'll be fine.
Dude, I installed Battlefield 3. With all of the
Don't
expansions.
You dare talk about your internet connection again.
In, what was it, 32 minutes?
Yeah,
I'll be
okay. Fast. I could download Battlefield 3 in 45 minutes. So.
What's your speed? What you running there, Gelza?
I don't know. I really don't know.
There are ways to check.
Okay, on Steam, when it's going really fast, it's like 2.1.
Megabytes per second?
I think that's it.
Peasant.
Well, it's fast for me. So
I've had 16 megabytes a second down before.
Well, screw you!
16.
Whoa, so much anger.
Would you like to lick the sweat off my brow? It tastes like victory.
I will come over and drive and push your house off a hill.
Please, your tiny little car ain't gonna push anything.
Wow, this podcast.
This house on wheels is loaded.
Did you say? Okay, yep.
I didn't hear what you said about my mom, but I'm gonna give you a pass because my mom could beat the crap out of you.
What is our topic right now? Actually,
you can't beat me if I like it. It's not beating.
I'll beat you till you don't like it anymore. You will be chafed.
anyone still listening to this right now? Is what I want to know.
3 viewers. Thanks, guys. So awkward, trailing off into silence.
What was the last topic? Seriously.
Tomorrow, I just want to sleep in until about 12:55.
Oh, is that 1 p.m. is when they're announcing it?
Heck,
Do they
yes, it
live
is.
stream it, or do they just put the announcement live?
It just
Joel's-
the site just refreshes. I'm on the site
Joel's
right
gonna
now.
wake up. Joel's gonna wake up just in time for disappointment. What a good way to start your Friday.
What if they announce
15
the fall
hours
sale?
and 31 minutes. I'm gonna stay here for 15
What if they added a
hours.
fall sale? How cool would that be? You know?
The fall sale should be next month, at the end of the month.
They actually have a fall sale? I didn't even know that. I know they have
Yeah.
a summer sale.
It's really short. It's not like there's the holiday sale and the summer sale, the big ones. I was joking, like a big fall sale. That was the joke.
Oh.
No, I
Every game for free. We'll pay everyone else $1 to give us freedom.
What if every game in the Steam library was $1? How many would you buy? Like, how much money would you spend?
all 3,000 games.
Gosh, I'm trying to think of games I even want that I don't have.
I mean, you'd buy games you don't even care about. Well, we already do that.
No,
when
you
Steam sales
would.
come around.
I wouldn't.
I've actually stopped doing that. And looking at my wish list, I only have 6 games on my wish list right now. It used to be like 30.
I've
It's all
stopped
the
doing
Steam
that too.
sales. What's that?
I've stopped doing that too.
We're recovering Steamaholics.
What's your wish list game? What's your games?
Metro Last Light,
Where do I go look at my wish list?
Sniper Elite V2 apparently is a thing. Gunpoint, a cool looking little indie
Wait,
game.
Sniper Alert V2, that's in the latest Humble Bundle, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh. Might have
Go
to
check it out. I could be wrong.
Civilization 5, although I kind of know better than
Nah,
actually buy
don't.
that.
I didn't like it. Well,
War Game Airland Battle, which is a horribly named RTS that looks fantastic. It reminds me of World in Conflict a lot. It's also Cold War themed, so take my monies on sale. And then Payday 2. Only 6 games.
I guess I should add more to my wish list. The only thing on there, I'll have Anno 2070 and Cities XL Platinum. That was just when I was really into city builders for a week.
I've gotten to the
Gary's
point
mod.
now where when games come out new, with the exception of
Hold
one
on,
or
I'll
two
be right
games a
back.
year, I literally just add new games to my wish list and then watch them to hit like 90% off in a year and a half. I'm that guy now.
I wish I could do that. I wish I could do it so bad.
I mean, there's certain games that, Battlefield 4 is going to be launch day, DayZ is going to be launch day. I bought Armor 3 in beta, but
Yeah.
like
For me,
single.
I'm just in my twilight years, so I need to pick and choose. When I play a game, I might not be able to play that game a year from now because another game will be out. And I'm like, I'm just not going to get around to it. So
For me, it's mainly the single player games. I feel no urge to play most single player games at launch. Like I have a backlog, and I'm just working through it at my own pace. Exceptions being BioShock and Last of Us.
What about them?
I was saying that for most of my single player games, I have no urge to buy them at launch. At launch, I just add single player games to my wish list and wait for the 75-90% off sales.
Oh yeah.
speaking
that makes
of
sense.
Last of Us, there's a new update tomorrow, or they're showing off a new game mode or something tomorrow. So also call out to Ben. Have you played any more Last of Us? Because I know he listens to his podcast because I can never get a hold of him. So
There's
this is the
probably a more
only way I can,
efficient way to
talk him.
contact him.
He
But-
still has your PS3, right? So you haven't
Yeah.
seen your game in 3 months now.
Ooh.
I know. I know.
It took me a month and a half to beat it because I'm that slow.
I'm that kind of a nice guy. I let someone take my own systems. I give it out to the world.
I offered to mail mine to Chris so he and Steve could play The Last of Us, but he hasn't, all he has to do is say, yes, send it. And it's taken him 2 months and he hasn't done. I remind him, he's like, yeah, we want to play it soon. So anyway, should we try to bring this train into the station?
Yeah, what are you guys at now for your Wow.
What?
What are you guys
Now
at
that-
for your
now
time?
that-
Because I've been here for an hour now.
It's been
Oh, this-
about hour 20.
Holy cow.
That's not bad. So yeah, you can email us if you want to be a part of the show, casualshenanigans@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter @casualshenaniga. You can follow me on Twitter @JERMgaming. You can follow Dave on Twitter @EvilViking. You can not follow Joel on Twitter. On
Just
YouTube,
no.
Boundless MP, JERMgaming, EvilViking13. And as always, send in questions. You have tech questions about your computer, questions about games, questions about our favorite foods and colors.
Hate mail for Joel.
Hate mail for Joel. Hate mail for us. If you want to leave comments or reviews for the podcast on iTunes, that'd be super cool. Just in general, love us.
Really helps us out, guys.
Validate us. Like, rate, subscribe, please. Share button.
Really helps us out.
Validate those two guys.
Subscribe is down there.
Validation.
Subscribe is down there. Down, actually, there, right?
Oh gosh, I hate that so much.
What?
When people point out the subscribe button with their finger, if I ever do that, kill me.
Well, I feel like it's relevant right now.
Nope, I still hate you.
Right there. Okay, so, yeah.
Dave has morals.
I'm just uppity.
Yeah. That's all we got for you this week.
Let's bring this train wreck to a halt.
Tune in like next week. I think we were going to talk about loot tonight, weren't we?
No, that's gonna be its own separate podcast.
That's gonna take some planning. The loot cast is happening, guys.
Oh,
you guys spoke, and you want the loot cast.
I don't think anyone did.
Yeah, one guy did.
I had 4 comments on my video
so
demanding.
it sounds like you guys have big plans. You guys have big plans for the
loot
loot cast, don't you?
I hope so. After all this build up.
Well, you and Joel better get together and figure out something. I don't know. I'll participate. All right, guys. Thank you for listening and watching.
Hit me up with this.
And have a great week. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Peace out, guys.
See you guys.
Stay casual.
No, that is not a thing. No.